Hi everyone, thanks for watching Access Hockey MI. Just want to start off by saying you should subscribe and like 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Wow. Also, we want to remind you that through the link in the description box below, you can get a ticket to the April 22nd game against the Chicago Wolves through the KOA Cares Camp link. And that will basically donate to help kids with cancer go to camp, go to summer camp. So why not? So just do it. They're cheaper tickets, but I do think through the month of April, Grand Rapids tickets are $15, I think is what you said.
Yep.
$15. So they are discounted, so make sure you make it to a game. There aren't a ton at home, if we're honest. We're coming to a close. We're almost there, actually.
Super
Playoff push is very stressful. Today, though, we are going to be looking ahead a little bit. We're going to be looking at Seth Barton, who has recently returned from another injury stint. He was in Toledo for a little bit for some reconditioning. He's been with Grand Rapids for the last few games. And I know it's a little soon to be looking at him already, but we're kind of looking to the future. The season is coming to a close as far as the regular season. We're not really sure about playoffs quite yet because we're still in kind of a toggle right now, and every game's important. So we're just looking kind of at the future, what the future of Red Wings defense looks like besides Mort Seider, who, of course, is one of the
I don't know if you guys know there is more to life than Mort Seider.
What? So Seth Barton was drafted in 2018. He's only 22 years old, so there's still a lot to be learned, still a lot to be done in his hockey career. So let's talk about him today.
So, like Janae mentioned, he did miss a good chunk of time in the beginning, so he did miss 18 games at the opening of this season. So, kind of a rough start for him when he came back. He made an instant impact, we noticed, and I believe we actually talked about him previously. So
we do have other videos, too, so you can kind of see the progression.
Yeah, exactly. So then he got injured again. He's missed about 3 months up until this recent return on March 22nd was his first game he's played since January 1st.
Yeah.
So a decent chunk of time, and he's immediately made an impact yet again. So when Janae talks about kind of looking to the future of our defense, we want to talk about Barton in the sense that he is a moving piece in the organization, not a placeholder. So you have these guys that are meant to be kind of like the foundational pieces of the development.
Kind of like Brian Lashoff, who's long time alternate and now captain of the Griffins, and Ryan Murphy, who we got I think he was with us last season as well, or this season?
It is this season.
It feels like whenever we get these pieces that are kind of like foundational pieces, it feels like they've been with us forever.
Right.
We had Luke Wachowski up until he was traded.
Yep.
He was a D forward, so that's what she means by like the
foundation. Yeah, so in terms of Barton, he's one of those guys that the intention of the team appears to be develop and move, not necessarily develop and keep for further development like a lot of these guys end up being. Sometimes even the drafted guys do end up kind of taking on that role. Not always a bad thing to be a career AHLer, but we do not think that that's Barton's or their team's intention for Barton.
Yeah, so another similar player that we think is in this kind of development but not placeholder position would be Donovan Sebrango. So we've talked about Sebrango a few times before. We think that these two guys, Barton in specific in this video, is being primed to be Red Wings. So right now, that's why him having a healthy season is going to be very important. So we've only been able to see snippets so far, but so far we really like his skating. He's very confident with the puck. He's a great passer. In one of his first games back, he had like second highest shots on goal, and as a defenseman, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. I believe he does some special teams work. If he doesn't, I feel like he will just eventually get him in there.
Yeah.
And he's already produced. So goal, assists, he makes an impact immediately when he's on the ice. And those are the things that are very exciting to see so quickly in a career, and especially coming off of injury. So him taking shots, showing production is very encouraging, and I think can only be improved upon.
Yeah, exactly. And with the guys that we have right now, like the vet guys, and we didn't mention at the beginning of this video, but I think we did in our last one, the rosters are going to get completely torpedoed. This season, I just got this gut feeling that we're going to see a lot of really big Band-Aids coming off.
Yeah, we've got a lot of contracts that are expiring. Right. We've got some guys that we've had forever.
At both levels.
And it's going to be kind of insane. And we think that Barton will be one of those pieces. I think he'll stay Grand Rapids.
Yep.
I don't think that there's any sort of, especially because he hasn't had a healthy season yet.
Right.
I think he'll stay Grand Rapids, get his feet under him, get his skating down, getting his playmaking, be that pivotal piece at the team, and then, of course, they rip it off and take it to Detroit. We rely on you, and then you're gone.
We're like, yeah, we really like how he plays with our team. This is great. The chemistry's amazing, and then they're gone forever.
It's going to be like Berggren when we're like, man, he's such a pivotal part of our success. Oh, he's gone now.
Yay, this is what we want. Remember, guys, this is what we want. But in terms of Barton, what we see going forward, just kind of like almost like future considerations for him to really be this pivotal piece, he's going to have a healthy season. He He has struggled with injury, and it's not like debilitating injury where he can't come back. When he does come back, he's recovered. It doesn't look like he's missed a beat, which is great. But if
that shows conditioning, that shows stamina.
Exactly, and discipline. And he's with the reconditioning assignments in Toledo, that's why the ECHL is so important to utilize.
One of the reasons.
One of the reasons, yeah.
Thank you so much for your contributions.
We appreciate all of your sacrifice this season for us, guys. But with that, I mean, just think of what he's done so far with just a handful of games. Imagine what his potential could be if he had a full season.
I'd like to see a full season.
Yeah, it's kind of like to see how that consistency plays out over the whole season.
And it's like the beginning of the season, we saw Kirill Tuchayev started, and now we weren't able to see him throughout the year. So it's hard to get a gauge on how a player's actually going to be until you get them in a long-term scenario.
You put them at game 76 and see if they respond the same as game 6.
See how consistent they are. See if they can do the work, if they can put in the time, if they can keep up with the demand of travel and all that stuff. That's very important to see.
It shows it wears on the vets too. So just seeing how they adapt to that.
And to give us, more lines. I mean, it's just helpful to have some D.
We would like some versatility.
And now that Ryan Murphy is injured, and he's one of the pivotal pieces that we talk about.
He's one of the top defensemen in the league.
He's a very important player on our team, and he's out with injury right now. So Barton coming back at this point is very special because I think that he's got quite a good chance, even in this later part of the season, to show himself and to show up and do
This is
work.
kind of one of those clutch moments where, the ship is sinking and who's going to be the hero?
Who's going to throw the life vest?
Exactly. Who's going to be the captain?
And you do see signs of life, I would say.
They're fighting.
Of course, the consistency is very important. And I just feel like there's been so much turnover this year, so much just movement. Yeah. And so I think that Barton becoming a stable piece will be exciting, but a movable piece. Because we want him, of course, to be Red Wing.
Upward trajectory, ideally. But with that, too, he's got to, and I'm sure he knows this, and we've said it before, there's stiff competition coming in from behind. A lot of our Euro kids, some that have already signed ELCs, and they're just waiting to get over here.
Which we're very excited
That's going to increase that compete level like nobody's business. Yeah. And it's a fair shot that some of those could go right to Detroit.
I forgot how exciting it was to see the guys come over from Europe until like Tuchayev came over and Berggren came over, and we get to see them.
And the prospect tournament comes, and we get to sit there for a week and watch these guys get ready for a gush fest.
Yeah, and Hannes too. We saw Hannes at the prospects tournament. It's just exciting to see these contracts and these guys that we draft come to life and come over. And I do think that there's a shorter time span ever since Yzerman has taken over, to where it's like, okay, we're going to see, and it's you're make it or you're gone. That kind of thing. Like either you're going to be with us in Detroit, or you're moving that way, or you're not with us.
It's pretty cutthroat. But I think that's kind of how it has to be, especially right now, because you don't want to hang on to these guys, especially if they're not fitting with the team. And we talked about this months ago in relation to Zadina, who, by the way, has turned his season around, which is great. But in relation...
And who was not traded.
Exactly.
We were wrong.
Exactly.
Except we never said that he was gonna be.
We said he could be good trade bait, and he still could be.
Yeah, keep it nice and vague.
But it's nice to see him improve, and just kind of taking that into consideration. There is that element where it's like, you're not permanent yet.
But the thing I like right now, especially about what Yzerman does and our team in general, are the atmosphere of the Red Wings. I feel like there's room for competition.
Yes.
So if you say you had a really bad first start of the season, but if you turn it around and you show you have high compete level.
Show your value.
And you show your value, I think they all listen. I think they see it, and I think that they turn their heads and they say, okay, you can have more chance.
This is where guys in the AHL, if they're watching closely, which they are, like Barton, where you're looking at the defensive pairings and defensive lines right now, the guys that we have that are moving on or we're probably not going to renew their contracts.
You just don't know. You really don't know until the offseason comes and you're like,
And he's eyeing that spot, even if someone else gets signed, like, okay, 2 more seasons, and that could be me. So I think with him, it's going to be really cool to see how he finishes out this season. And if we make it into the playoffs, how he handles that pressure. Yeah. But also next season, with a full, healthy season, he will be back in Grand Rapids. I don't think he's going to make a quick jump.
I don't think so.
But having a full, healthy season is going to be incredibly pivotal, I think, to what his future looks like.
Definitely. So that's kind of what we're seeing about Seth Barton right now. Again, he hasn't been back with the Griffins for that long. He was reconditioning in Toledo after injury for about 3 months. He was out with injury, and then he was reconditioning with Toledo.
Again, thank you, Toledo.
Yes, thank you so much.
Come to the game.
Next time, can we get your coach?
Next video.
I like Ben Simon, but I really like Watson.
Watson, man, he is the man.
You guys
look
at
their record, okay?
You look at his record.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, so that's Seth Barton, kind of in a nutshell. But make sure you watch him in the games to come. Again, there's some home games coming up in April. Don't forget to get your ticket for April 22nd against the Chicago Wolves.
We'll see you there.
It's an upper bowl, and get a Toledo section going. That would be great, all you Toledo people.
Bring fish.
And if you're out of the country, come in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more expensive than the little, the ticket you get, but like.
Yeah, it's fine.
learning. The experience.
Experience GR. It's a website.
Yeah. So thank you so much again for watching. Like and subscribe. Share with all your friends. Share with people that aren't your friends. And we will see you guys next time.